Hi, my name is Dr. Craig Bellamy, and thanks to Tully Bennett and Paul Arthur for asking me to make this video, which is a reflection about the last 10 years, or at least the early days of the Australian Association for Digital Humanities. And I'm so very happy that the association is still going and has put on some wonderful conferences and will continue to do so in the future, I'm sure. Um, so the coming about of the association, I was involved in the very early stages. I think it came about because of a convergence of a number of different things at that time, and basically I think there was some of us that were in the right place at the right time. I just returned from King's College London, where I was working in the wonderful Department of Digital Humanities, where I learned lots of things about the broader field of the digital humanities in the United States and in Europe and the United Kingdom. And when I came back, I was very fortunate enough to have a coffee with Anne Border, who was heading up an agency at the University of Melbourne that looked after a number of different universities called VERSI, the Victorian E-Research Strategic Initiative. And I'd met Anne before in the UK. She worked for a wonderful organisation called JISC. So she gave me a job with the brief, we want to get into the digital humanities, which seemed like a fantastic task. And I was fortunate enough that Anne was a very good leader. There was a reasonable amount of resources about, and she allowed us, myself and others, to sort of carve out a space for digital humanities in this broader umbrella term called the e-research, or the e-research agenda, which is primarily focused on science. Anyhow, so a few sort of things came together that made the association occur. The other sort of thing was both Willard McCarthy, Professors Willard McCarthy and Harold Short, had been offered visiting professorships at the University of Western Sydney, so it was good that they were in Australia as well. So they brought a lot of expertise from King's College London, Department of Digital Humanities, which is possibly the leading digital humanities department in the world, or certainly was 10 years ago at the time that we formed the association. And I think what the big splash of the association was the wonderful first conference that happened at the Australian Academy of Sciences in Canberra, led by Catherine Bode and Paul Arthur. And that was a really wonderful event. It was, being one of the organisers, it was a very nervous time getting such a large inaugural event off the ground. But there was 600 attendees. Lots of people presented from other countries. So I thought for a first conference, it was very successful, and all the other conferences since then have had their own particular flavour and focus. But I think that one of the things that the broader successes of the Australian the AADH and the conference series that it sponsors is it's sort of found home for lots of the digital humanities type of initiatives and scholarship that's happened in Australia for many years. have been other conference series, but they haven't lasted that long, certainly not 10 years. And they possibly haven't been as internationally networked as the AADH is, and within the sort of broader digital humanities field. Anyhow, yeah, I've sort of moved out of the digital humanities, but into learning design. Lots more jobs in learning design, but the perspectives from digital humanities I use every day. I think it's a wonderful field. I think that the thing that I personally probably got from it is this notion of the two hands, you know, the skilled hand and the cultivated mind, or at least being able to apply computing in a contextual way, not just a pragmatic way, but understanding how it impacts upon learning and scholarship, etc. So I wish the AADH a fantastic 10 years more, and thank you very much for inviting me to talk. Okay, bye-bye.